I want you to imagine 10 years from now. What do I mean by this? Is just looking back from the future 10 years back to the present moment. What would your future self in those 10 years look like? Looking back now. Now, most of us would want to think, being successful and like having this, status or anything you want, anything your heart desires deeply. Okay, so what it would look like for me is still making content for over 10 years. I know it sounds crazy, but it's a good dream. Big dreams are meant to be huge, always. And of course, I imagine, helping my family, getting some sort of pay from this content creation and overall helping you guys as well. It's like, that's like the dream life. Like it seems like, but as, time goes on, like things can change, but as long as you stick with it, it's able to be good. Now, once you're able to imagine yourself 10 years from now in the future, you might not think already that fast, and that's okay, because it's really a big jump, at least, of course, from like just 5 years, saying like, oh, like, well, what would you have in 5 years or 10 years? Not like 500 years. Yeah, like we can't live that long, of course. But damn, it's getting hot. Once we're able to imagine that, I want you to just say hi to your future self. Say to him how he got to where, or she, or where they got to where they are today in the future 10 years from now. It seems very crazy, right? Too crazy if you think it is. Now imagine, it's getting too hot in here, bro. Hopefully the phone is over here. Now, once you ask yourself, or as I should say, your future self, what he would or they would have, what made them succeed, what was their desire, their dream, their goal that got them where they are today? What is their systems to, building the life they wanted in the first place? It's very crazy if you just, well, not that crazy to be honest, but very simple, but yet very powerful to just think about. Because I'm sure you've heard this before, probably like in school, whether in your high school or middle school or just, in school, primary school, really. It's like, you might have been asked this question, which is like, where do you see yourself 10 years from now? Now, I'm pretty sure I have remembered something like that in my school, at least in somewhat of primary school when I was like in the 6th grade or 5th grade at least. I'm like, oh, like, what did you think, like, where you would be in 10 years? I'm like, I think I want to be like, it was like some career type stuff, like, oh, I'm gonna have this for my job. I'm gonna be like an astronaut or a dentist, or something stupid. I don't know. But of course, it's like some people really desire that dream or that big goal, while, others don't really take it that seriously. I mean, of course, it's natural, of course, like, it doesn't have to be serious or, like fun, but it can be, you don't have to take that thing seriously, because it's like, it's not like you're gonna end up being in that position where you're in this career or you're doing this for a living now. Like, you have to get at it and again. but the question still stays within. If we were to just ask ourselves, where would we see ourselves in 10 years? Or for all I care, 5 years. What matters is that you have a vision and see where you want to be, where you need to be. Okay? Now, again, like, I'm gonna try and explain myself a little more. Like, where I see myself in 10 years is probably in like another, like, a huge house, right? Like, you know, and my job is to create content, just talking to you guys, which is quite simple. But I mean, yes, it can be a job, of course, like, there's no doubt. And, you know, maybe get like a spouse or something like that, like a loving wife, having children, like, because I would be like 25, right? So maybe not then. I would be thinking about having children, but it was just a thought, and it's not a bad thought at all, to be honest. But okay, 25-year-old self me, he's just in the house. He bought, or I don't know, if he wanted a car, he could get a car if he wanted. I don't know. I don't really care that much about, you know, the cars, having to get one. Yeah, so making content, and I would want a pet as well. Maybe a cat, maybe a dog, who knows? But maybe a cat is, I don't know. I just prefer cats. But it's like, when you dream of your ideal life, when you have that vision of your ideal life, it becomes so satisfying to just daydream about that stuff, for the moment at least. It's crazy how much the mind can really make us believe that it can happen. And yes, it can happen. It can work out if you put in the effort in what you are trying to do, whether it's content creation or maybe some type of other career you want, okay? It's not something that you need to do. Like, if I needed to do this content creation thing, like, I wouldn't enjoy it as much as I would if I wanted to do it in the first place, because I actually do enjoy, you know, talking to you guys, to the camera as well. Just expressing myself, like, in this natural movement and manner where it's like I'm actually talking to a person, which is actually you guys again. It's crazy to think that, like, this video can reach so many people, with so much potential to reach so many people all at once, or just over the couple of days or weeks, months, maybe a year or so. This makes me so passionate, because it's like the future can bring so many possibilities and good moments when we need it the most. Once you have figured out what your ideal life is, whether you're still figuring things out or not, I want you to, you know, just take that and be so grateful for it, and keep it in the jar in your head, in a special place where you can, you know, daydream about it whenever you're thinking about life as well. You know, just those good things about your future. And yes, you should have hope for your future, because it's so much beneficial, more than you know. And yeah, you know, I'm gonna rephrase that question. Where do you see yourself in 10 years from now? That's all I have to say, guys, and I am very excited. Well, I was gonna talk about something else other than this topic, but this topic was pretty interesting to talk about coming from me. But yeah, school is coming up in 4 days, and I'm gonna be a freaking sophomore, bro. It's gonna be so weird. But yeah, that's about it. Just a little news like that, but I'll probably talk more about that in my next video, maybe, but we'll see. All right, guys, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully.